So we've got ourselves Path to Glory, the knockouts. Now, there is only so many in this, and naturally with everybody in the quarterfinal going into the semis, half of them are going to be knocked out this weekend. So we've already seen the first day, so we've seen Germany go out, and we've also seen Portugal go out. Now, there is actually one player I forgot to add into it that I will add into it, and that is going to be the SBC for Jota. Now, that kind of was one of them ones where it's like you could do him and maybe get through, but like a lot of people I can imagine, they just waited for him to see if he went through or not. It was the kind of smart option because the card itself for 800,000 coins didn't look that crazy. If you're looking for coins to improve your team, head over to lootbar.gg for the most reliable and also the best coins around. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. So when we do look at him as a 96, I mean, if you looked at him just without knowing any other cards, it's a solid card, very good stats across the board, obviously has a very high chance of an upgrade, with also a very high chance of not getting an upgrade, and unfortunately, it did go to penalties for him, and it just wasn't meant to be for them. So it always puts the whole team in there. So for instance, you've obviously got Nunez, you've got CR7, and then anybody from the previous version. So I know in this week they have re-released anybody from the previous Path to Glory because we only got so many. So for Portugal, we got Ruben Diaz was obviously in there. And I don't know about any more SBCs. I suppose if we go into the actual nation, we should be able to find them. It was only the Path to Glory, so Make Your Marks, I don't believe were re-released. Bernardo Silva was another one, but he was from the season objective. And then you do have Roy Patricio, who was from the objective. So if you've done any of them, then obviously, unfortunately, they are at the end of the road. They couldn't quite get over there. And when we look at CR7, as much as he's still going to be very meta in every aspect, we know that with Ronaldo, it doesn't matter if he doesn't hit that 99. It just means that at some point in footies, we will eventually get that 99 as well. So it's not a big deal for him. For someone like Jota, this could be the final card. So it is a bit unfortunate for him in that sense. And it also hinders on actually doing the SBC. I believe there's been a lot of evolutions for him, so that could have been a better way going around. So he's coming in at 750. He's a 4-5, so he's not even a 5-5, purely on the aspect of that semi-final. He would have got an extra 5-5 for him if they were to win. So in terms of the card, I think he's a very good upgrade, but if I was going for rating wise, I think I'd go S+ for CR7. I think that's quite natural. Nunez, not terrible in himself. I'd probably go more towards an A+, and I'd Joe Jota into that S. Now, the team that did win was obviously the lovely France. They've got a Kamenvinga 98, which I'll get to the reason why he's 98 in a second, but I think it was only them two cards. But then again, we do go into the Path to Glories, and we do see that they did get more cards than that in the past anyway. So their big one, do they even have a big... Oh, they had Saliba, of course, so he's a 98 already now. So, obviously, with the semi-finals, so anybody that's done the quarterfinals for the Copa America and the Euros, semi-final is, if you've not got a 5-5, that will be your upgrade. If you have already got a 5-5 prior to actually winning the match, you'll get a +1 instead. So, for instance, someone like Agreezy, he will then go to a 98 in the semi-final, and then in the final has the chance of the 99, which is very interesting in itself, because if we were to look at all of the French Path to Glories, for instance, Saliba will get a 5-5, same as Kamenvinga. If they were to win it, you would have Saliba, Kamenvinga, and Griezmann all on a 99 rated card, which is absolutely brilliant for them. Most definitely a very nice kind of a selection you've got. You've also got Barcola, who was an incredible cheap right wing at the very start. He's now a 96. And then you've also got Klaus, who's a 96 from the season ladder as well. I don't know if they had any others in their 94s. No. They do have Fofana, obviously from the objective this week. He's another one that should be in there, actually. But to be fair, is very bog standard. Unfortunately, like he just is. So if I was to look at them two, I'd probably go for more Camavinga, potentially now going into that S+, especially the rating, alongside having the slide tackle, anticipate, long ball pass, and bruiser. Incredible amounts of stats across the board. He could be arguably one of the best DMs we could get at the moment. With Greasy, I'd go up there again as well. I've absolutely loved Griezmann this year. It's been a bit of a revitalization for him, because we've seen in previous years with him that he kind of had that really high rated and then he just stunk. He managed to get a team of the season or a footies every year, and that card was always the pinnacle of him. But this year, he's been brilliant, mainly from the start because of the Finesse Shot Plus. He's had multiple cards from the Player of the Month, Informed Trailblazer, Team of the Tournament, into the Fantasies, and a beautiful Team of the Season, and then a potential of an absolute wonderful striker card in his Path to Glory. Now, the only thing I would personally change for the card is Rapid rather than Quick Step, but I think that is very nitpicking with the card in itself. He's still got the Finesse, which is perfect. He's got the Tiki-Taka and Incisive, which could lead him into more of a cam centre forward role rather than a dedicated striker. You could have him as a cam, say like a CR7 and Mbappe up front. It would be much better of a position rather than going as a solo striker or a striker in his own right through and through, because of that passing trait, if I'm being brutal with him. Now onto the other side, the one that we have seen. We've obviously got Ferran Torres, and we've also got Jesus Navas, and I believe that is everybody from this side at the moment. We haven't got a Yamal yet, otherwise that card would be absolutely everywhere. If we was to go into the knockouts, I don't even know what the prices are looking at. So you got 9.9 for CR7, 7.7 for Greasy, 2.9, 420 for Torres, and Navas coming in at a very respectable 170. So if we were to look at the Spanish team, who have they got? Pedri being a big one. It's a bit unfortunate for him, literally, like having an injury just going into the semi-final is heartbreaking for him, but he's played phenomenally. He can potentially get into that 99 if they were to win as well. Olmo would be 98 with the win, and then obviously Ferran Torres and Navas would both be 97 due to it. We already had got some incredible Carvajal and Nico Williams, which is just absolutely stunning. I think both of them have now got all of their upgrades, I think. I'm pretty sure. Lenormand, anybody else in the Path to Glory sense? I don't think they've actually had that many, to be fair. For being the team that have seemed the most exciting, it's an interesting one to see. Now, I think both of these, for me, I would probably go more towards an S for Torres. I don't think he's quite into that S plus with the left wings that we do have. Navas is a funny one because I do think defensively, not as good right back, right wing back, getting up and bombing up the wing is definitely not going to be a problem with him. He's got the rapid plus, little bit of technical, the whipped pass is perfect, stats wise for passing, dribbling and pace are fantastic. Defended and physical could do with some work, and I think for me, as not necessarily liking too much of an overlap, I would probably go for somebody else, someone like a Klaus, maybe even still a Walker for that solid just right back. Then we obviously have got Havertz, and we've also got Sane for the two Germans. Unfortunately, these cards won't see any more upgrades, and it is a shame for them because they both look very, very nice cards for the draw. We also have got the first 99 rated card on the game, and that is going to be Wirtz. Managed to get all 5 appearances, managed to get the 2 goals, or is it a goal and an assist, I'm pretty sure. So he is a 99 rated, the first on the game, which is just incredible in game sense. Obviously, he doesn't care. It was an unfortunate match. It was a very... I'd say it was, to be fair, it was very balanced across the board, very end-to-end, which was really nice. It was a good show of what a quarterfinal could be. Realistically, that was a final, really. Like the levels of teams, both of them being incredible. You've got Musiala, Fulkrug on 2 goals, and I'm pretty sure somebody else has got, I think, is it Havertz has got 2 goals as well, or 1 goal? Some absolutely massive goal scorers, even though Gakpo is running the draw at the moment with 3, which is just nuts. I don't know what the average goals per player is in terms of each tournament, but to be the top goal scorer in the semi-finals or going into the quarters with 3 goals just seems to be extraordinarily low, but who knows. Sane, Havertz, they also have Undav, who was due an upgrade. Fulkrug as well is in there. It was very a shame for him, to be honest. He he had it. He lit another night and literally 3 headers he could have got. And it is just look at the draw with it. But with Havertz, obviously he's going to stay at this sort of price. So I can imagine we took maybe a little bit of a nosedive during it. We could see, okay, that was to 6th. Okay, no, that's this morning. I was thinking then, I was like, hold on a second, why is he, yeah, I was going to say, why is he so expensive at midnight? But of course, he was kind of now coming down and just hitting that peak. So as you can see, 10 mil to start with, dropped very, very quickly because pretty much the game was over about an hour and a half into the promo being live, so he didn't even have chance to really build any sort of momentum. So 3 mil still just shows how good this card truly could be. Now, whether you'd prefer to go as a left back with him or still go with this cam version instead is an interesting one. I do think when it comes to Sane as a right wing, there isn't necessarily a great deal of right wings at the absolute top. I think he could put himself into the list. Havertz, on the other hand, I think looks very, very good. I don't know if I'd go S plus for him personally. Because if I'm looking at him from a box-to-box perspective, because he's got more defending than he does shooting, which is kind of ironic for a cam, but in itself, it's very weird. Passing-wise, dribbling-wise, looks brilliant. Obviously, defending physical is at a very good level. The shooting is a bit kind of skewed mainly from that 81 on the penalties. Then obviously you've got the 85 shot power. It's very Neymar-esque sort of shot power, unfortunately. But I do think the rating in itself of how high rated everything else is would kind of keep him through. He's definitely one of the top draws in this and would be interesting to have seen what could have been with him. Now, we do have the rest of the Euros to happen today. We have got Netherlands versus Turkey, and we've got England versus Switzerland. So we have got Stones, we've got Watkins, Çalhanoğlu, Akanji, and also De Ligt. So clear favourites in England being there with 2 of them rather than 1. And obviously they do have the previous partners in there. So if we went over to the Path to Glories from previous, we have got the likes of Saka back in packs. We then have De Jong back in packs, we have Walker back in packs, and then if we go a bit further down, Koku is in there as well, Ndoye's back in, and then if we go further down, Netherlands, no, that's Hungary, couldn't see the flag. I think that is it, to be honest. When it kind of comes to it, there might be some SBCs that we'll go through, but in terms of them, that is kind of where we're looking at. Now, there is obviously icons that could get an upgrade if they've not had 4, but I'm pretty sure England have done that. I'm pretty sure most have done the 4 if they are in this round, basically. We know Spain, Germany, and France have done that now. Have France done that now, actually? They scored 1. No, they didn't even score. I don't even know if they've got 4, to be honest, yet. They could still be due an upgrade, so that's going to be an interesting semi-final with Germany. So when it comes to these cards, regardless, obviously Watkins, I think he's a good card, but I don't know if I'd quite... I definitely wouldn't go S+. I think S would kind of suit him. Stones, on the other hand, I'm still kind of unsure why he's got a quadruple playstyle plus, because England haven't won 3 games yet. That was normally the kind of the extra bonus. So if we do win tonight, I don't know what he gets, because we'd have won our 3rd game, he'd be added a playstyle plus, unless they're going to give him an extra overall instead, or a 99 stat, which isn't in the progression calendar. I don't know if they've made a mistake there. Potentially they could have. But I do think in terms of Stones, looks good. In-game, I don't think he's going to be as good, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I don't. He's got the anticipate aerial intercept, which is always nice. But to be honest, I'd probably go for somebody else. I think Akanji and De Ligt will be up there as well. I think the 2 arguments will be between Stones and Akanji, mainly because of that anticipate. De Ligt, unfortunately, doesn't have it. I could see him being dropped down very quickly with no upgrades at all. If Stones goes through, if Stone goes through, Akanji doesn't, unfortunately. But say if Turkey take him out the running and doesn't hit that 96 with a playstyle plus extra, or if it's not anticipate, I think that's where the kind of end of the line draws for De Ligt. Now, we do have the Copa America as well. It's the exact same draw up from this. I've not really been keeping too much tabs on it. I just know that Uruguay have Brazil, so a big competitor is going. And I must admit, from Uruguay's form that I've been seeing, they look like the front runners, to be honest. Whether that's going to happen, I don't know. So leave me the comments down below. Who looks like they're going through? Give me the quarters, give me the semis, give me your prediction on that final. We have got some nice cards. I am very surprised that they didn't give us a Messi, and I can kind of understand that Messi obviously has a 97, but so does CR7. I don't know why they didn't give it a Mbappe in this. This could have been the turning point. They've just given us 35, 40 icons and heroes. Why not give us Mbappe, CR7 and Messi as a 97? One of them reaches a 99 potential. It could have been, but they didn't go for it. Like I said, even with Messi, he's not even a 5-5, so it doesn't even matter about the semi-final if they don't want to make him a 99, or in fact, if they want to make him a not above 99, don't give him the 5-5, make him a 97 with a quadruple playstyle plus, gets an upgrade for the quarters, 5-5 for the semis, 99 for the final. I mean, that kind of screams an easy win for them, but they didn't take it, unfortunately. And in terms of the card, I feel like this has been all of the Copa America, to be honest. Just nobody worth really keeping. Like, Wendell looks nice. Douglas Luiz looks fantastic as a CDM. Unfortunately, Brazil just haven't looked like they've got off the mark. Gonzalez, a solid right wing, but nothing too crazy. A nice high-rated Palestri. Even if you was to go down to the Copa America Path to Glory Team 1, we got Alvarez, decent shout there, obviously. DePaul looks fantastic, but I think that's purely on the fact that he's 98 rated. I think even if you put anybody at 98 rated, he's going to look brilliant. You've obviously got Alphonso Davies, you've got Militao in there, so some big names. So I don't understand why they didn't go for some more big names. I know Nunez is one of the biggest shouts that potentially, or I think should reach the 98 this match, or one more match going on. So they need to beat Brazil because they don't have the round of 16. So if I was looking across the board for these, to be honest, I think it's quite easy. I think Douglas Luiz is a one upgrade away with a playstyle plus from being in that S+. I think Gonzalez is a solid right wing, but it's very standard. You've then got the rest of them, to be honest. I just don't think they're kind of up there. Palestri I could see being as much as possible. Wendell looks like a good left back. Lo Celso, to be fair to him, he's not a bad shout. 92, 95, 96. No, I'd probably go up here as well. Jimenez would be kind of just under everybody else. Again, like De Ligt, no anticipate is a big kind of non-bonus there. And then obviously you've got the anticipate on him as well as then the kind of lower two. Now, I haven't included anybody else that's in it. So, for instance, the other team, so Militao or Alvarez, because we've already gone through them. I want to see at the end, what are the ratings? What are the Path to Glory's rating then? We'll have a look at them in another week or two when both tournaments have finished. So let me know down below if you've managed to pack any. I've got one, and it's one from the previous that I had, and it's Endoy. So I don't want to see that name ever again, unfortunately. But let me know down below what you think, and I will catch you all for the next time. Peace.